is $5,000 to enroll today. I had to be able to say that to her confidently. You need to be able to say the price too. When I started my health coaching business, I was severely undercharging, and I think a lot of coaches are undercharging. The advice that is often given when it comes to pricing your coaching business is not good advice, if I'm being honest. I have heard so many people recommend that coaches look at what other people are charging. I am going to teach you in this video a much better process, and this is a process that coaches have used to go full-time with their business. Not just me, I have used it for my own business, but my clients have used it too. Coaches who are actually making money, because a lot of coaches, unfortunately, are not making money because they don't have the business side of it, right? And so I'm going to give you exactly how to price your coaching so that you can make a full-time income and do the work that you love and get paid for it. But before I get into that, I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to walk you guys through this. Before I get into that, I want to share why I think looking to what other coaches are doing is not good advice. The reason being is because you don't know their situation, right? If you are like I have never been someone who's just wealthy and has all of this money. And again, that's fine. Like if that's your story, that's fine. But somebody who does not need to make a living and support themselves from their coaching is probably going to be charging in a way different manner, right? Than somebody who is trying to support themselves, support their families. You know what I'm saying? Like if you had $1 million, like, yeah, you'd probably give away your coaching for very little, right? So that's one reason. You don't know their financial situation. Another reason is you don't know their experience, their confidence, their education, right? You could be comparing yourself to somebody who's been doing it for 10 years. I've been doing this for 10 years. What I charge now is very different from what I charged when I first started because I didn't have as much experience. I didn't have as much confidence, you know? So when somebody is just like, oh, just go look at other health coaches' website and see what they're charging and then charge something similar, that's terrible advice. I don't think that is good advice. So what is good advice? What do I recommend? Let me introduce you to the TTE method for pricing your coaching for a full-time income. I'm going to give you some of these tips. Stay until the end because I'm also going to give you some tips on offers and different things that you should be doing, okay? It's going to be good. Also, I'm in a sauna right now. It doesn't look like it, but it's Mexico. It is April and the sun is just beaming in this room. It is our hot room. So if you see me gulping down the water or sweating, that is why. That is why. And we're rolling with it. I like being hot, but it's kind of a lot when you're on video too. Okay, so let's get into this method. So the first T stands for time. So I want you to, once you have your program, your idea, what you're offering, maybe you already have your program and this is like you're repricing it, right? So once you have that, I want you to think about the time that it takes you to run this program. You can do this for anything. You can do this for your one-on-one. The example that I have here is for one-on-one, but you can do it for groups. You can do it for a course. A course is a little bit different because you're spending the time up front and then you're not spending as much time down the line. And so you kind of have to price it accordingly. That's why you often see courses at a lower price than one-on-one coaching because people are spending that time up front, but then over time, they're not spending as much time on it, right? So it doesn't cost them as much. So time, right? How much of your time is this program going to take to deliver? So I gave the example of a 3-month program here, right? So say you're doing a 3-month program, say you do 6 calls, so 2 calls a month. That's pretty standard. You do notes for every call. You don't have to, but AI is actually very nice now with the Zoom. It does a AI companion, so it kind of does the notes for you, so it can be quick. Not everybody does notes. So, but let's just say for this example, let's say you are. And so you're doing a half an hour for notes every session. That's 3 hours, right? And you're checking in with clients, let's say 2 hours. So the total is 11 hours. So you can ask yourself, what is 11 hours worth? Or if you're like, I don't know how to do that, you can say, what's your hourly rate, right? Mine currently is about $600 an hour, right? You have to think about though, I've been doing this for 10 years. So what would yours be? When I started, mine was 150 to 200. Again, you kind of have to make this up, honestly. Coaches are just like, how do I figure this out? What I'm giving you now, 3 different things to be thinking about, will help you. But at the end of the day, the thing about coaching, the thing about entrepreneurship is you are the boss. You are in charge. Some people love that. Some people hate that. I love that because I just was never a great employee. I was just like, why are we doing things like this? Can we switch it up? Right. But some people are like, I really like the schedule. I really like it. Right. And if that is you, you have to just decide. You have to pick a number. But let's keep going because it will get more clear. So these are pieces of the equation. So now we have piece 1. Okay, I need to be thinking about the time it takes me to facilitate this, whether it's a group, whether it's one-on-one, whether it's a course, whatever it is, okay? If you have questions, you can put them below the video. I'm happy to answer them. I think this is a longer one. Yeah, this is longer. Okay, so then the second T is transformation. This is huge, my friend. This is really huge. So think about the transformation your clients are going to receive from this program. If you provide a big transformation, you get mucho dinero. If you provide a small transformation, you're going to get less, right? People will pay more for larger transformations. And so these are the examples that I give. Example 1, if your program helps somebody feel good enough, lose weight, balance hormones, meet a new man, hello love, that's a huge transformation. That's life-changing, right? That's life-changing. They're probably going to avoid medications. They're going to go after what they desire. They're going to be happy. They're going to be in love. Life-changing. Example 2, you're going to teach them how to cook spinach. That's a small transformation. Everybody on TikTok is teaching how to cook spinach in a million different ways, right? That can be found on social media for free. That transformation is small. People are going to pay less for it, right? So what is the transformation that your program provides somebody? If they do everything that you teach and they implement it, because that is who we are speaking to, right? We're speaking to those ideal clients. What is the level of transformation? Okay, the third, the E, right? TTE. I want you to remember that. TTE, time, transformation, energetics. The E, energetics. And what I mean by this is, dun, 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 price that feels good to you, that you can hold and that you can feel confident about. All of us have different needs, financial requirements, confidence levels. And so if I was to tell you, hey, you should charge $2,500 for your program, $5,000 for your program, and you are brand new to coaching, you've only done it for, 9 months, you're going to be like, that feels scary. I can't say that. You need to be able to say it on a call out loud. When I was health coaching and I eventually raised my prices to $5,000 for a health coaching package, I had to be able to say, hey, Jen, I would love to have you in this program. It's $5,000 to enroll today. I had to be able to say that to her confidently. You need to be able to say the price too. If you're not confident in it, if you're like, I can only type it, that's not going to work because the energetics there are out of alignment, right? And I think it is totally okay to start a little bit lower and raise your price up, right? As you go. That's what I did. That's what a lot of my clients do. So let's bring it all together, my friends. Let's bring it all together. So that's your homework. I want you to write out the time it takes. I want you to write out the transformation. And then I want you to come up with a number, right? Come up with a number. So for coaches who want to be full-time, I do recommend a high ticket priced around $1,000, the lowest. In order for you to be profitable and not take on too many clients, $1,000 is kind of the spot. Now, if you are doing passive things and courses and you have a big audience, a big community, a lot of people coming in, you can switch it up. It can be different, right? But I'm talking about for one-on-one coaches, smaller audience. When I say smaller audience, I mean anything under like 20,000 followers, community, right? Having an offer that is at least at $1,000 is going to allow you to be hitting at least 10K months consistently. My clients who I work with in Aligned and Signed, they're usually having their one-on-one or their academies or their group programs between $1,500 and $3,000. That is usually the spot for them. Now, a few other things that I want you to think about is I want you to think about how many clients you need in order to hit your income goals. Okay. I don't want you to price it so you need 50 people. I had a client once and I was like, how many clients do you need in order to quit your job? And she's like, I would need like 25 a month. I was like, no, 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 that's not going to work. We need to work on this equation because you're going to burn out. It's too much. Coaching for the coaches that I work with, probably for you, if you're watching this, you found this video, they are doing such deep work. And they give so much to their clients, their heart, their energy, their stories, right? Like they are really holding space for these clients. And so to hold space for 25 new clients, like every month, that is a lot of energy. If you have the capacity for that, then awesome, if that feels good to you. But for most of us, that's going to be too much. So don't price it so that you need 50 clients in order to hit your income goal. Then I want you, like I mentioned before, I want you to think about your confidence level with this price, right? You need to be able to say it out loud. I'm getting all crazy over here, you guys. And then the last thing is an offer suite. I recommend you have a high ticket, you have a mastermind, you have a group, right? That is between, like I was saying, like at least 1,000, between 1,000 and 3,000. But then I also recommend that you have a lower ticket as well. And the lower ticket, I like it priced between 7 and 47. That just seems to be the sweet spot for low ticket offers. And this is going to allow new people to come in and to get experience buying from you and witnessing your energy, your teaching, right? And seeing like, oh, do I like her? Do I trust her? Can I get results from this, right? Is she actually the real deal? Because a lot of coaches, they actually aren't. They're just sharing other people's information online. And so this is going to allow them to be like, okay, I trust you. And then they're going to be more likely to go into something bigger. I think a lot of coaches see people doing low ticket. A lot of coaches come to me and they're like, yeah, I'm just going to do like a $7 thing. I'm like, okay, what's your main thing? What's the thing that's actually making you money and profitable? And it's like, no, I'm just going to get 200 people every month into my 7. I'm just like, that's not how it works. The low ticket is just to build trust and to get people a small win. It's not actually what we're keeping track of in terms of making us money. A lot of times coaches actually lose money on the low ticket, but if we look at that individually, but if we look at it in the big picture, it is actually bringing people in. A lot of my clients, they start with one thing, they go to the next, they go to the next, they go to the next, right? Because they're like, oh, I like Sarah's energy. Her stuff actually works. Like, let me keep learning from her. I like this. Does that make sense? So I highly recommend to start, having those two offers, low ticket and a high ticket. Okay, I hope that this was helpful. If you have questions, leave them below. This is just pricing your program is just one part of growing to a full-time income with your coaching business. If you're curious about all of the steps, everything that I recommend, if you put framework below, I'll send you all the steps so you can make sure that you have everything necessary in order to grow a full-time coaching business that fully supports you, that fully supports your family, if that is your desire. And if you're interested in working with me to implement all of the steps, definitely check out Aligned and Signed. It is linked below. You can also reach out. It is my program that I take coaches through so that they can attract ideal clients every single day with their content and sign clients consistently every single month into their one-on-one, into their groups, into their academies, right? And implement all of this, the low ticket, the high ticket, all of it. So if that is you, definitely check out Aligned and Signed. All right, friend, I'm excited to hear how this goes for you. Until next time, bye.